like to bring up Adam from Taboola. We're going to have a quick adjustment of the schedule, and we're just going to do a standing fireside chat. Come on up, Adam from Taboola. So tell us about Taboola, your company, your baby, and you've been listening to a bunch of panels here, and tell us how it relates to this summit and what you're delivering to your customers.
Sure. And actually, I think it's very relevant. 7 years ago, I started the company because there was nothing to watch on TV. It was just about that time in Israel when you switched from 10 channels to hundreds of channels. I was just after my army service, and all I wanted to do was nothing. So I was home, and I was trying to discover bad TV I could really enjoy, and I couldn't find anything. And I thought that it doesn't make sense for people to look for content anymore, and content should be looking for people. And 7 years after, today as a company, we work with thousands of publishers. You've seen us before at the bottom of an article recommending other videos you may want to watch and never knew existed, or if you watch a video, you'll see other videos. And the goal is try to connect between all those millions of pieces of content that's out there that you may like and never knew existed. And I think listening to the panels here before today, I'm a GoPro fan. I'm taking more than 10 pictures that Om did today, but I'm creating a lot of data, and I think this is all just reinforcing the fact that there's just too much out there, more for us to be able to consume at least easily.
So tell us a little bit of a couple of use cases when you're talking about the videos and the recommendation links. I mean, give us some numbers so the audience can say, wow, I didn't know that was potential. Like how many people are viewing, how many people are clicking through. Share what you can about the money side of it.
Sure. So last month we served 130 billion recommendations across
130 billion
across the entire company. And then we now index, which is really fantastic. We index 5 million articles and videos and slideshows that are all paid for. So 5 million pieces of content that is someone, a blogger, a marketer, a brand, a publisher, paid to have that piece of content out there so they can engage users back on their sites. Where 30% of our audience is watching what we serve from a small screen. It was 7% in 2012.
Wow. So tell us a little bit. We had some investors up earlier talking, what's the big next thing? When you were first trying to raise capital, how did that go? Is it a quick process, or was it a challenging? I don't even know the answer, so I'm going to learn too.
Well, for us, it was very not easy. It's my first job after the Army, so I didn't know what a P&L when I started the company.
You know what it is now?
A little bit. And then, so most investors told me there will never be a day when a publisher will recommend another publisher's content. Most VCs including some of the people that were here today. And that's completely okay. At the time when we pitched Taboola, it was fraught upon to think that people would leave the site. It was all about keeping people in. Now, we're 2014, we're thinking about it, distributed web and fragmented web, and it's all okay to go to different places, user experience, personalization, the web of one, that's today. So it took us, it wasn't easy for us to raise money. So
that's great. So you're saying it's basically, they all said it wasn't possible, and as I think David said, do what's not possible. Right. And so whether or not that was one of the people that looked at it and said it wasn't going to work ages ago, it's a great example because it is really hard to raise capital, right?
Right. We got to almost zero a few times, dollars in the bank, and I guess being a founder is really just not accepting no as an answer until it's really done. .com.
Yeah, no is not in my vocabulary. No really means not now.
And I know you, so I know it's not in your vocabulary.
It really means not now. So bringing it to close, talking about the roller coaster, a phenomenal business that you're building. When the roller coaster part is on the bottom, how do you deal with that as the founder or CEO of the company?
I think as founders, you always have moments when it's good or bad. When it's really hitting the rock bottom is that when everything fails. Someone from your team you really need leaves. You can't hire the person you want. There's no money in the bank. VCs tell you it's a little not there. Google is launching a competitor, and you have someone that is really writing bad stuff about you. So those moments exist. I had many of them. And then if you have a good foundation, which usually means a good team, then you can pass through it. And if you don't, I think it's really, really hard.
Okay, so parting statement for the other entrepreneurs trying to build companies here, the researchers. What would you advise them to help them succeed?
I think we spend a lot of time being okay making mistakes. So our first 4 years, we had no business model, no idea how we'll never ever make a cent. We crossed the $100 million in revenue last year, and it took us about a year and a half to get there. So from the moment we launched and generated our first initial revenue, within a year and a half, we got to $100 million. But it took us 4.5 years to get to the first dollar. And that's really, really tough. You have investors are telling you what's going on, and you have to make it work. So I think you have to build a company that's completely okay to try, make a big mistake, and a lot of them, and then move on, versus trying to plan the ultimate perfect solution that even may take you 6 months, but that may be too long.
Fantastic. Adam, thank you very much.
Big pleasure.
Round of applause. Good luck, Adam.